Today we're going to break down 2 environmental factors that can impact the effectiveness of your digital signage content and just what the heck you can do about it. The reality is, no screen exists in a perfect viewing environment, except maybe a movie screen, but even then. On to the bullet points. Whether you're in Times Square, the waiting room, break room, or the bathroom, your content's luminance has some competition: ambient light. Of course, ambient light is any light source other than your screen or projector, and incidentally threatens to wash out the content being displayed. Now, we could talk about how hardware could tackle your ambient lighting concerns, but what can you do about your actual content? Well, in some cases, not a darn thing. What? But in others, like custom content, in-house content, or configurable third-party content, there are some darn things you can do to make sure that the lighting conditions in your venue don't let the air out of your floaties. Let's talk contrast. It's the design principle that makes text readable, images discernible, and generally shows your audience what's important to look at and what's not. The brighter the ambient light levels, like in a sun-drenched lobby for example, the more diminished the black levels are going to appear on your screen, which decreases the overall contrast, which lowers your audience's ability to perceive content details between true black and white. For darker environments, the issue is reversed. That is, larger areas of white can drown out the in-between details around them the closer they get to being the brightest light in the room. Think about trying to look at an airplane in the sky against the sun. Now, for heaven's sake, don't actually do this. Jeez. That plane's going to be hard to see because your eyes are being blasted by the light source behind it, for crying out loud. If your venue is generally bright, pick content with a brighter design scheme that's going to hold its contrast under brighter conditions. If your venue is generally darker, choose content with a darker design scheme to prevent the brighter elements from drowning out the more subtle ones. Another environmental factor that's probably out of your control, but still impacts your audience's ability to engage with the content, is average viewing distance. At the risk of sounding obvious, factoring in the distance your audience views your content from should influence key content decisions. Much has been made, and rightly so, about ensuring your content features text at a size that's readable from your average viewing distance. Take advantage of online text size calculators, equations, and other math stuff. But whenever possible, it's really best to arrange some sort of first-hand testing to evaluate your content's text readability using a handful of trusty teammates. At Screenfeed, we have dedicated screens set up around the office to test new content designs for this exact purpose. Okay, last thing, if you're a multi-site network, it becomes even more important to evaluate each site on its own. Location, architecture, and lighting all tend to hold their own little surprises, so you may want to craft your content plan of attack on a site-by-site basis. Hopefully our little chalk talk on lighting and its effect on contrast, plus viewing distance and its effect on readability, will give you the revamped content game plan you need. Maybe just the needed kick in the pants. So make sure to read the post below for a slightly deeper dive, plus a bonus tip for networks that support audio. Until next time, keep up the content.